Check, check, 1, 2. Good morning, everybody. Been a bit, but as said in the video today, we're going to be taking a look at the build crafting for our Titan. Oops, I don't want that song. Oop, hold up. There we go. Awesome. So, quick plug in real quick before we started. Okay, yesterday on this channel, oops, hold on. Alright, I'm back. Myself's resituated here. Alright. Oh, sorry about that. My kid all of a sudden started freaking out. I think they're having a nightmare. Dad duty took over, as always. Dad duty will always take over. But anywho, alright, so today, real quick before we get started. Yesterday on this channel, we did have a brand new, I would call it brand new setup for the Titan. I haven't really seen anyone really run this. I think I've seen one person post a video about this, but it combines the updated version of the active war rig from, I think, Edge of Fate actually, with Service of Zaku on spamming threadlings and basically staying alive, having high damage resistance with the mail, and just constantly destroying everything, which I also realized later on that night that this build could also theoretically be used with Armamentium, the new updated grenade exotic checks piece. But that's not going to focus for today. No, instead, right, when we look at our channel, okay, pull up my channel real quick before I actually say this and actually make sure this. When it comes to our channel, when it comes to this channel, we have done a video for Solar Titan, Stasis Titan, Void Titan, Strand Titan, right? We have done for Solar, Stasis, Void, and Strand. We have not done one yet for Arc. And so I was trying to think, alright, so what kind of builds can we make for our Arc Titan, right? There's a lot of different ones, right? There's an insurmountable skull port, really popular. Arc melee, full recharge, and full health back, right? Solid choice. And you also got, what was it? I think it's Point Break or Point Contact, whatever. Also solid choice, right? A lot of solid choices when it comes to exotics for Arc, right? But I also want to look at, okay, what did Bungie update that was new? And looking back, I saw that they updated an old pair of Titan legs that when I looked up on YouTube, I'm like, no one's posting videos about this exotic. So I wanted to take it firsthand, go into the tower, go into missions, and see how good is exotic, because they updated it and no one's posting about it. No one's posting. No one's using it, at least on the content creator side. No one's talking about it. But Bungie did update it, and I'll show you guys here in a little bit once I pick up a better version. I should still have tickets left. 3 tickets. Alright, cut it close. But anyways, might have to go through and clear out some of the vault space here soon, just because I'm running out of space. Yikes. Oh, maybe not. Anyways, right. Yep, that's the one I want. Alright, I have a feeling I'm gonna want Brawler on with this setup, which is weird because normally you don't opt for the health class, but with this setup, I have a feeling I'm gonna want it. The actual high health stat, just from theoretically thinking last night. Wait. These are the exact same stats. Wow. And it's a tier difference. That's funny. Anyways. Alright, so where's the fist at? Don't have a fist. Alright, oh that's right. That's what we want to save. And just alright. We can run that one. Probably. Maybe. I have to buff up the health stats, huh? Anyways, got a janky looking Titan today because, we just not have the right drip on just yet. But of course, before we actually go and get the exotic legs that we are going to be testing today, it is the weekend, and therefore Zer has not been taken over by Marathon just yet. So let's see what we got. And of course, I still don't have strange coins yet because work's been kicking my tail. But we got the Gwynch Invest, we have Sidorak's Facade, Eternal Warrior, Aberrant Leap, Geomatic Stabilizers. I saw something the other day about this. Click on interest gives you Chaos Rage Energy. Oh, okay. Interesting. Anyways. Fancy. So this is what we got for weapons? Skyburner, Hardlight. Hardlight? What did Hardlight do? I'll have to look that up. Tractor King, Crimson. Anything that immediately shouts out. Widow's Bite. Honor's Edge, maybe? Lash Counter. Tireless Blade. Nope. I'm pretty sure I saw something about this. The Swarm. Damage, increase accuracy. Scepter. Eric's Favor. Alright, nothing absolutely shouts out to me. But anyways. Alright, back to the actual point of the video. Alright, going through and go to 801. Still got some of those old requisition tickets. That were released, I think it was either start of Edge of Fate or start of Renegade. Actually, no, I think it was start of Edge of Fate. Had to pet the dog. You always pet the dog. Always. Okay, check out 801. And it's probably a bad idea, but we are going to use the Brawler. Not Perry Greaves. Where are you at? There. Oh, where are you at? Not Peacekeepers. There you are. Dude Marchers. And of course I have no space. Alright, so let's see what we can get rid of here. That was almost a bad choice. Veropotent. And yeah, I'm gonna go Swordmaster right now. And so, anyways, I already kind of revealed there that we're going to be testing out the Dune Marchers on this video because looking at what Bungie updated when Renegades dropped, they updated Dune Marchers. But they updated it to where it introduces Bolt Charge and that it also lets the Glaive melee attack trigger the static charge. Now, personally, I've never used Dune Marchers. This will be a first for me to go through and test to see how exactly does it work. But that's the whole point of the build. That's the whole point of the fun of the video, right? Take new exotics, test them out. How do they work? Share it with you guys. But anyways. So part of what I'm thinking, right? Because when I'm looking at, I'll show you guys here just a second once I pick it up, that the Dune Marchers can technically be used. That's fake fault. That is fake fault. I fell for fake fault. Anyways, the Dune Marchers can technically be used on any subclass. Technically. And we're going to find out because when I was paying attention to the description last night of Dune Marchers. That's not the right one. That's right, it's in the Postmaster. Not in the Vault. But we'll delete this one anyways, because this was like the one I got from the Completing Titan for the first time. Anyways, technically speaking, I want to say that Dune Marchers can be used on any subclass. It doesn't have to just be Arc, because I know it works with... Oh my goodness. That is... A lot of squirrels today. A lot of squirrels. Anyways, Dune Marchers. So, alright, checking out Dune Marchers. Right? Increased sprint speed sprinting, builds up a static charge after melee attacking back, which Renegades did update, say that melee charge or melee attack can be used with a glaive melee attack. But anyways, melee attacking a combatant, that charge will chain damage to nearby foes. Gain bolt charge per target hit by the chain. Okay, so and then it said with frequency that it can increase to 3 per chain. Right, I think with normally it's 2 per chain. But anyways, so it doesn't say in here that you have to use arc. It doesn't say you have to use arc whatsoever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be testing today, is... Oh my goodness, he looks like the beginning of a Power Ranger. But anyways, yeah, it doesn't say that you have to use arc. So first thing I want to test, right? Obviously we know because bolt charge is going to work with arc, but I want to test, right, to see. I still have when I did like way back when the stasis setup. All right, I want to test to see how good is it. First off, how does the chain lightning work? All right, how much does it spread? How does it work? Right, and that's what we're going to test today. First, we're going to test. Because, right, stasis, no bolt charge. You're not going to bolt charge anyway whatsoever with stasis. Okay, but will it still give us bolt charge? Will it still work? All right, for everything that we are wanting to do. Because I have an idea of how to make this to an arc build. Like, first line is focus on sprinting, and there's a lot of things in arc that actually focus on sprinting. But if it's true, if my hypothesis is correct, that Dune Marchers can be used in any subclass, that opens up another idea for me. Alright, so we are building up a static charge. Okay, linear actuators is there. Alright. And let's see, if we slide, still there. Good. Okay. And punch. Nope. Okay, it exhausts. Alright, how does he actually work? It's bringing build up static charge. Okay, maybe it's because it has to be an enemy that can be taken out. Let's do some Fallen today. We haven't done some Fallen in a while. Alright, build up the static charge. And punch. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. It's gotta be an enemy that can. 8 stacks. Wow. Okay. 8 stacks, 1 punch. Didn't even take out the enemy. Alright, so now I want to see something. I want to see. Okay, so that did not work. That's disappointing. Okay, whoa, okay, hold on. It did work. Oh my gosh, that actually worked. That actually stinking worked. Oh my gosh. Okay, and nobody else on the stream to see that. Oh, this could potentially get real nasty. This could get real nasty real quick. Alright, reset. You know, let's make him aggressive. And jolt. Alright, well, that proves that theory real quick. That Dune Marchers can work with your normal, like, even with the tectonic concentration slam. Consecration slam. Stasis, though. Alright, so... Nope, you're not gonna be civil. Okay, so... Yeah, don't hit me. Because I gotta change out. I got a costume change real quick. Alright, so that means... Alright, so let's try Sentinel. Alright, because we got Sentinel with Shield Bash. Okay, kind of tying into the idea that I had. At range 4 times, use this melee ability to unleash a devastating shield bash that suppresses the target. Final blows with the shield bash grant overshield. Is there anything in this that can give us melee back? Grants melee energy. Okay. Which, technically, if we have a low grenade stat... Alright, it will take him out quickly, though. Ooh, okay. So yeah, even the normal melee attack will trigger the sprint. Interesting. So, okay, so theory proven, right? It is proven. Dune Marchers with the Jolt and the Bolt Charge will actually work with any subclass. Alright, so there's good news there. Okay, that actually opens up a lot of doors, which I'm actually surprised that, you know, I know the Jolt isn't a lot, and maybe that's because it's not as big and flashy, but like it already said with the glaive that it would work. So I'm actually surprised that not a lot of more people are running this. Why do I have two Monte Carlos? Why do I have two Monte Carlos on and two period? That's weird. Anyways, so theory proven there, right? That Dune Marchers will work in every subclass. Okay, that you don't have to just have Arc on. Now, does Arc use Bolt Charge and Amplified a lot more? Yeah. So, here is the idea then. If we're going to be focused on sprinting, right? If we're going to be focused on sprinting builds a static charge. Okay? If I look into the Arc subclass, right? Here we go. While sprinting, you have a greatly increased health stat. Okay? And then there's the one that I saw for sprinting today. Where's that? After sprinting short heavy class, the regeneration is increased. Alright, so right there we get increased health, increased class, which might be, you know, a good idea for something. Because also when I look at Juggernaut, after sprinting for a short time, you gain a frontal shield that blocks incoming damage, and when it is depleted, you gain a stackable charge. While Amplified Shield blocks significantly more damage before breaking. So I'm already thinking, right, Seismic Strike. Okay, we're going to be running for a bit anyways. I don't exactly want to jump. Because we're already going to be getting a lot of Bolt Charge from, whatchamacallit, Dune Marchers already. So I'm thinking Juggernaut, because we're focused on sprinting, and like I know nobody uses Juggernaut, not that I've seen anyways, and Knockout, since it's a sprinting melee focus. So critical wound targets or breaking their shields, increase your melee range and damage for a short time. Defeating targets with melee attacks makes you amplify, and then if you're more powerful, increase amount of health for short. So we're getting health back, and we're getting amplified from Knockout, and then Juggernaut, while amplified, shields block more. Okay, since we're not really going to focus on sitting down and standing still, okay, that front shield might actually come in handy. I've never used Juggernaut, so we're going to find out how. There's a lot of new things going on today, but I'm going to keep on Spark of Frequency. Melee hits increase weapons reload speed and stability for short duration, while amplified effects increase that you gain increased stacks of bolt charge from all sources. So that's where instead of 2, it's going to give us 3, which means plowing into one small group of enemies should give us max stacks of bolt charge. Defeating tilted targets or defeating a target with bolt charge creates an automatic trace. I might swap this out for Spark of Haste. Right, only because I've never actually used I've never focused on the health stat before, and I want to see how that affects your gameplay. Because the downside with Arc is, even though it is an awesome, even though it is a very awesome, like, subclass, it does not have a lot of good health regeneration. Does not have a lot of good ways to stay alive. And now the song "Stay Alive" stuck in my head. So, all right, health class. All right, increased amount of health you gain each time you pick up an orb power, reduces flinching from ammo or fire while aiming with a weapon. It says your shields regenerate more quickly. You have additional health when facing combatants. All right, and then melee, right? Melee focus, quicker melee. Which how fast does it actually get this charge back? 2 minutes 10 seconds. Melee ability could be on 42 seconds. All right, we'll see if it actually needs 42 seconds or not. All right, but let's see, where did the ionic trace go? Okay, bolt pure energy that travels along when picked up grants you ability energy. Okay, so we might actually want, since we're jolting targets, we do want Spark of Ions on, because that's going to create ionic traces, which then in turn gets back ability energy. So amplify, more bolt charge, resistance, surrounded by combatants, which will be all the time in this build, and although we might not want resistance, right? Gotta think, because I'm also thinking recharge, because I could combine the sprints and the recharge and the critically wounded. Because I'm thinking, one thought is faster class ability, greater health stat, and then critically wounded, melee grenade come faster, and arc pulse. Right, really risky build today. Really risky build. Grenade here doesn't even really matter because of 5 in the grenade stat. And just because we like to go fast, our Thunder Crasher. So the next question is, right, what kind of glaive would we like for our, weird Power Ranger right now? And first thoughts come to mind are, first thought what came to mind was the Excalibur, because, one, it can give you an overshield, more damage resistance. Hold down block, take out an enemy, get a full overshield, is my first thought. The other thought, which I don't have them on me right now, but I can pull from another character, is Winter's Bite, because it has the trait Tilting Windmills, which increase movement speed when you're blocking. So you're blocking, charging with the front shield and a glaive shield. Okay, that's another thought. The third one is for a glaive that I don't have, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get, and if it's too late or not, because it seems like some stuff got locked up. But Edge Concurrence, right, where you're gonna be focusing on jolting targets. But if we end up running this Edge Concurrence, that's going to make me more inclined to swap out for one of ours for Spark of Ions, which my enemy is like one of these two, because I'm thinking I want my 2 sprinting ones, which means I would want probably Amplified and Ions. It's just a thought. But if that's the case, right, Amplified and Ions, then maybe I might actually be more inclined to run. Let's just put this on. The Excalibur to give us more damage resistance, right? Because we don't have resistance on. Even though that does actually give us plus 10 melee, which is not that bad actually. But yeah. So it's a build test video, so let's see how it works, right? Let's go and upgrade our armor real quick. We'll get better ones in the future, so if this works, it's actually pretty sick. So the focus of the build, all right, as we're getting ourselves set up. Oh, that's the other thing I want to do real quick, is put an actual decent screen on real quick. Is I'm on this live stream right now, on the live stream, I'm going to go onto the Destiny Compendium on the computer in front of me, and I'm going to see what exactly does the health stat do. So, pulling up the Destiny Compendium right now. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it on your end because I am streaming off of my Xbox right now, but I am still going to be here. And, alright, pulled up the Destiny Compendium, looking into, let's see, where are our stats? Hmm. Where did it go? Not gear perks. Alright, I know I saw it the other day. I'm trying to figure out where they went. Anyways. Alright, gear perks, no. Maybe armor mods? No, I know that wasn't it. I know there was a whole breakdown of how the stats worked. Game mechanics. Maybe. I think so. Game mechanics, scroll. Oh, I think this is it. Okay, there's movement speed. And armor stats. Here we go. Okay. So, armor stats save for health. Pick up armor power restores health at a rate of 0.7 HP per point, up to 70 HP per orb at 100 points. Grants additional 0.1% flinch resistance with ATS per point, up to 10% flinch resistance. Alright, gain faster shield regeneration, increase shield HP. Against combatants per point above 100. Provides 20% faster shield recharge and 40% shield 45% shield recharge rate. And 20 shield HP against combatants at 200 points. Alright, so let's see where our health set is at 106. So between 101 and 110. We have 130 shield HP. And we're still at 70 health per orb, I think. That's my understanding. Alright, anyways. So, looks like a lot of things is more health per orb, which, funny enough, is actually kind of what we want. Okay, we want to have the setup where we are picking up orbs. So that automatically means that we are going to run double recuperation. Probably. It's my first instinct. First instinct running double recuperation. We'll see if we can drop one for the future. But do we want elemental charge? There's a good question. Are we going to focus on armor charge period? Because we aren't exactly creating ionic traces, or are we? Oh no, we are. Okay, this setup we are. All right, yeah, we definitely want armor charge, elemental charge. Picking up ionic traces, getting us armor charge, and so in turn, we want armor charge. Okay. Well, the next question is right. This is a shoulder bash kind of focus, right? What are we gonna do? Well, let's run double health and charge up. Okay. Literally focusing on health and melee, right? Going off the beaten path of what I see a lot of people do, right? No one ever focuses on health. They always only ever focus on melee, grenade, super, or class, or weapon. They never focus on health. Okay, but this channel likes to go off the beaten path at everybody else. Okay, so, which I already know that some people look at this going, oh, this would be so much better with ACD feedback factor. Yeah, probably. But, you know, because I know ACD feedback would give you full like armor charge every single time you hit something. Which, sure, go for it. If you like that of what we're doing, then awesome. But we're running this. We're gonna test this today. Because like I said, nobody else is I looked it up on I looked there for like an hour, maybe. Looking up for Dune Marchers builds, for current Dune Marchers builds, and nobody is talking about this exotic. So we'll just use double ash to the assets because I'm not really in a hands-on anyways. Because we're not really using any other... Yeah, nothing else we really use here. Good there, good there. And now let's take a look at our class ability. Is that upgrade? It is upping our melee stat. That's funny. Alright, so we want time dilation, and Nothing really else we can use here. Maybe proximity? Alright, so now, right, let's see what our stats can do, because now we're at 120. Alright, we have 136 shield HP. And melee stat is 137, which actually, technically speaking, we would have 2040, so 160. So 146 shield HP. And we would have 2040, 177 melee when we have an armor charge. So we're actually dealing, well, it already tells us, it's scored Destiny Companion with 21% more melee damage when we have armor charge. So we're going to be hitting things hard. Point blank period. Right? And if we get, actually, while we're in the shooting range real quick, he's got a finisher. Okay. Let's see if it actually does pair up. Right? What kind of... Oh. Does it? Okay, no. It doesn't. We might not be using Excalibur. Because, yeah, that frontal shield is not the correct overshield. So the void overshield. Yeah, okay. I'm already calling it right now. We're not going to use Excalibur because if we're going to use Juggernaut, right, if we're going to use a Juggernaut overshield, that's not going to match up with Excalibur. I just saw it real quick. It does not trigger the Excalibur overshield. So we are going to have to use a different glaive then. So let's see, do we have any in our vault right now? Actually, we do have some glaives from Heresy. Which the next question is, did I actually get one with Hatchling? Nope. Doesn't look like I did. Dang it. Alright, it's alright. It's okay. It's alright. But anyways, right. So what we got here? We got some glaives here. Back bang. Oh, what's this? They found a list of great bonus energy to provide increased movement speed while blocking. Interesting. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. There is... No, let's focus on grenades. The good old Enigma. Back when Witch Queen came out. Which might have read a little bit of Witch Queen today, trying to figure out how to get our hands on the exotic glaive in Season of Renegades. But I don't see any other... okay, so in other words, I gotta go onto my phone real quick. So temporary pause. Just temporary pause. Because the only other glaive that I want, the only glaive that I have right now is the Winter's Bite, and I got to pull that from another account. So Winter's Bite. Coming up right now. There we go. By the way, if you're a Destiny player and you don't have the Destiny companion app, I strongly recommend getting it because it is absolutely fantastic to use, especially if you're a solo player. Jumping in the middle of a fight. Oh, that is no. Let's put that on real quick. Actually, be color coordinated before we dress them up. Green. Sorry. Now the whole Lego Ninjago came back to mind. Your power is green. Alright, anyways. So. Okay, so now. Oh, yeah, Spark of Haste too. While we're sprinting, we have increased health stats. So. While I have Compendium up in front of me, how much health stat does that give us? That's going to give a spark. Where'd it go? Haste. Plus 50 health stat. Plus 50 health stat. Dang. Okay, so that's going to be we're at 200 health stat. We're at close to 200 health stat with double health and spark of haste. We're at close to 200 health stat. That is all right. Anyways, so running. We're not running faster. You lied to me. This is gonna be fun. All right. So here's the question. Okay, where do we actually want to test this in? We want to test this in. Oh my gosh, I can't. We cannot run this because we need a method of getting orbs of power. So we have to run heavy-handed. No. I got so excited about the health that I forgot I need ways to get melee back, and I don't want to run Monte Carlo because I want to lean into the whole melee aspect. So we might be leaning into the fact that, right, we're getting armor charge, okay, defeating jolted targets, so that might end up having to temporarily change our focus of weapons, because right now the only way we actually have of jolting targets is by Dune Marchers, and that's going to feed into ions, giving us what should I call it? Ionic traces, bolt charge, etc. So does Blister Slant? No, it does not. Okay. All right, so we have no means of jolting right now, except for Dune Marchers. So that is a problem. To me, that is a problem, because that is, to me, it feels like wasted energy right there. So what can we do to fix this? I mean, there is Spark of Shock, but we're not really focused on grenades right now. I mean, I think Jolt lingers on them for a bit. So there's that. All right, let's just run it temporarily, okay? And let's see how fast we get our melee charge back. So where are we gonna test it out? None other than let's run. All right. Let's run Mars. 100% new private. Okay. Increase outgoing and void damage and grenadier. So that's actually in our favor today because we are not focused on. We are not going to be focused on grenades. We're going to focus on melee. Right? Temporarily, I'm going to do it on expert. I might work the way up, but this is our first time actually using the build. I'm not entirely focused on seeing how well it can handle hard content. Okay, because this is actually ground up testing. All right. So let's actually get into the content.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, it's how money started, right?
Such a clean way to say it. You rip glimmers from blood. It's primitive, primal, real.
All right, Spider, jeez.
Oh.
Say that with a bit less glee next time. You're scaring our hero.
All right, so we're gonna want. Yep, I like this compare. So let's keep running.
Got something high yield and combustible.
Testing out new build on Lawless Frontier. Alright, so we're going to be testing out a couple things. One, since the mode we're running on, to test out how strong that overshield is going to be from Juggernaut. Okay, because when it comes to Arc, I'm not a up close and personal kind of person. Alright, so we got the increased sprint speed, got the overshield. It broke the shield. That's not nice. Alright, just keep the sprint going. Sprint going.
Contract is heading for the hills. Stop them.
Alright, well. It's definitely, the overshield is definitely there. That's for sure. And we are definitely running around taking things out left and right. But my concern is getting that health back. Or getting that shield charge back. Alright, so we're running around without a shield right now. But I gotta say, health ain't really going down. Alright, got the back up. That's back. And overshield, let's get the overshield back up running. Okay, got the shield charge back up. Alright, that actually hits. That hits pretty hard. Knockout on, get that arc melee. And this is where I probably want to pull out the glaive. I will say health ain't really going down at all. But I'm not liking how slow it is to get that shield charge back. I will say that. I'm liking the jolt. I'm liking the fact that our health is like not going down whatsoever. But I am not liking how fast it is to get, how long it's taking me to get melee back. I can honestly say that. And and the thing is, like, you don't want to lose momentum. Yeah, you don't want to lose momentum on...
Keep hunting. We'll find them. It'll just take some good old-fashioned detective
So we're trying to think, how can we swing this?
Drifter! You there? Wow, Eris. You're so pale.
What? What's happening? Blue?
That's just a natural complexion, you weenie. I knew you were there.
I've always hated you, and now you can talk.
There's the jolt. Trying to think. Right. I am. It's not as. I will say this. It's not as a big of like a, oh my gosh, this is amazing type of build. It's not a wow factor build. Okay, that much is clear. But it is holding up. Like, I haven't. My health has not really dropped at all in this entire run. Right, because we do have the healing orbs being dropped, but that's not ever fully consistent. But yeah, it's not fully consistent. However, thanks to that frontal shield and knockout, and yeah, because that right there is what I want more of.
Like a lot of arc energy.
I want more of that shoulder charge. So, even though this is a fantastic, like, this is already feeling great, I'm gonna fall off. I'm falling. Right? How can we get our melee back quicker? Plus class ability, right? These two, I mean, I might not want haste. I could probably dump haste for something. Alright? You know, I might actually, and this won't sound really weird, but I might want to dump haste for shock, because I need another way of jolting targets if I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on trying to get bolt charge. Arc up a final plus chance to create out traces, collecting out traces, extra pull charge. So I might want to dump haste for discharge. I don't know. Briefly increases outcome melee damage. Okay, but it doesn't increase how fast I get melee back. Because in a fast-paced, constant sprinting build, I don't want to waste time in getting, you know, I don't want to waste time, right? You know, if you're constantly on the run, I don't want to take the time to, like, all right, let's get our melee back. So I think this build might do good with both weapon final blows. So even, I was going to say, the arc glaive. Well, the glaive melee attack doesn't use that. It uses, whatchamacallit. It's not really kinetic damage, right? It's unclassified damage. Right? It's like normal punch damage. So let's just see, right? Let's use Spark of Shock to see, you know, how quickly. And punch, punch, punch. I will say, though, that I am definitely going to keep on that sprinting where we have class ability come back quicker, because that frontal shield, that class ability just came back real quick.
Hostile tracker is back online.
Okay, they're up there. Alright, we got grenade back. And... there's way through out of 3. We're getting health back in every single punch. This is the ultimate crayon here, Phil.
Lock and load, hero. Got your bounty on tracker.
Alright, well... trying to think. This is a good solid build. I will say that. It is a very solid build. So, trying to think, right, how can we make it better? Right, because running, getting class mode back, right, that's already in our favor. Okay, but is there, I'm trying to think of a way that we can keep momentum. And, well, okay, what happened there? I think it might have been the Onyx Trace. But still. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I was about to see if I had to go for a second, but looks like we're okay. Alright, start taking some of these ads because these ads are taking our shields. And just keep on flowing. Get that frontal shield back up. The other thing that's actually helping this build too is that we are running two things of Swordmaster because, and that every hit's going to exhaust them, have them deal less outgoing damage. So that is working in our favor too. Ooh, run to get that shield up. Keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. We got dogs on tails, don't we? Keep punching everything! And of course, this is for my, you know, squirrel brain. Hold on.
Our work here is done. Come back.
Yes, there we go.
It's time to
Alright.
Enjoy our spoil.
So it is a pretty solid build. Alright, pretty solid. Like, I would say, you know, it's not flashy, but it's straight up Titan. Punch everything. Right, it is straight up Titan. Punch everything. So, how to make this better? Right, well,
We're done here.
I'll ask you guys that, right? If you're in a live stream, okay, the main focus of this is run, keep momentum, and keep going. Okay? How would you make this better? Because, as you'll see here in a second, the main, I would say, issue with this build is getting melee back. How would you say to get back?
Exfiltration vehicle has arrived. All right, let's take that hawk home.
Now that was
Alright, there we go.
well run off.
Alright, so,
Just how I like to see it.
big old question of the day is how do we make this build better? Okay, because this is a very solid build, right? Especially whenever we had, I would argue, dropping Spark of Shots for Spark of Haste, getting that plus 50 health, because that, with this setup, right, having double armor charge pushes that health close to 200, which I was getting shot from all directions and my health meter barely went down at all. So the ultimate question is, right, it's been the big question is how do we keep on getting this melee back? Because Dune Marchers, I gotta say, is actually pretty good, right? It was actually going pretty good. I just don't want to wait the 42 seconds to get that melee back. I want to have a way to keep getting it up continuously. And there is technically Spark of Recharge, which at that point, right, it did come in clutch. It would have come in clutch if I had it on. But when your melee and grenade come back quicker. So it makes you think maybe drop Spark of Frequency to get Spark of Recharge, because if we keep on Spark of Ions and we do get if we are applying Jolt continuously, we'll be jolting, so we'll be getting ionic traces to help with the ability regeneration and getting super back, and then in those situations where, oh my gosh, in an emergency melee, while still running around, because that's the whole focus is, well, floating between these three bosses, just keep running, right? Just keep sprinting. If you gotta run, Spark of Focus is an absolute must, because there was those instances where I was like one shot away from being dead, run for a bit, and then instant full frontal shield up. Actually, I'm sorry, it's because of not Juggernaut. I apologize, not Spark of Focus, Juggernaut. Absolute must, and that gave me the time I needed to continue to stay alive. So there's a lot of good potential in this build. It's just got to be focused right. So that is really the question of the day: is what can we use to basically just keep going, right? Which gonna end up ties into like the next question, right? What can we use that jolts, and because then in turn jolting, right? And it's not gonna be like jolting. It's not gonna be like our, the Hunter Lucky Raspberry, where jolting targets get the grenade back, all instantly circle back into itself, right? This does take a bit of work to keep circling back into itself. So okay, knockout, it was 15 targets more powerful, health restored. So yeah, a lot of good potential there, and it was fun, right? Just going around literally punching everything, and just like watching us not die was good. So I'm gonna put haste back on, because when we sprint, we get that plus 50 health stat. I'm also thinking of putting on recharge in this merge situation to get the health back. All right, that's my thought. Actually, no, keep frequency on, because then I also forgot that one punch gives us max bulk charge when there's a good like 4 enemies around us. So there it goes. The next question is, I'll still be on, still be talking, temporarily pause. But question of the day is, what do we have that can jolt? This is the true question of the day, is how to continuously apply jolt. Not that it. If only Risk Runner applied jolt, right? If Rick's going to reply Joel, that would be probably one of the answers right there. No, it's I already know it's gonna have to be that exotic glaive. It's gonna have to be that glaive. So now here's the ultimate question: is how to get our hands on it. Which I know it's gonna be in the old Witch Queen playlist. So just to figure out where we left off, this will require us to go back to Savathun's Throne World, aka Mars. I mean, we could try Horror's Least. Trickle charge and jolting feedback. I mean, yeah, but let's see where we're at with this. Evidence board. Alright, requires trust goes both ways. Access to weekly missions. I think I tried going around this route and it wouldn't work. So let's try to go talking to
with temporal anomalies, right?
Bench. In the meantime, let's look this up. To unlock weekly missions, which can reach rank 13 with Finch. Okay. How to get Trash goes both ways quest. Because I had that quest a while back, but like a long time ago, Witch Queen's first, like the newest campaign, which so almost there technically. But yeah, it's combatant scorn. Arc damage, that works for us. Stasis we don't have right now. Alright, so we got 2 bounties.
You know, I knew Osiris back when. Yeah, he'd say stuff like, light don't make a guardian worthy. It's the other way around. Yeah, probably paraphrasing.
Alright, anyways. Defeat Scorn and complete likely suspect. You know what? I wonder if we pull up on
Not much on this roll guy. Some ghosts on the hive
quests, because I knew there was a thing a while back. I was struggling at one point. Like one of the quests would not pull up. I knew it was on a what's it? The Lightfall campaign. That I kept on refreshing into the tab. The app.
I got miles under me.
Okay. So let me see if it keeps up, and let's try it out, see if we can move that progress, because right now it's not. I'm facing a problem where I'm not seeing the Trust Goes Both Ways quest on my actual in-game. But the quest is still active in my app. So go to my asthma and see if Right, just feeding some scorn in there, see if it'll actually move the needle on the actual app. If it doesn't, then it's a problem. That means it's locked for us forever. Which shouldn't be. Here's some scorn. Alright, so let's see if we move the needle a little. I gotta do a bit more. More than just 2. Let's not run into a tree. That'd be a good idea.
I'm sensing light, but we haven't encountered any sources of light elsewhere in this swamp. Any insight, Finch? I'm sensing light, but we haven't encountered any sources of light elsewhere in this swamp. Any insight, Finch?
Light? You sure? My scans. They're showing scorn. Light? You sure? My scans.
Oh, there's definitely something glitched because, yeah, it just ran through the whole dialogue twice.
This we're investigating. Scorn and light? Now this we're investigating.
Oops. Can't jump down that way. Hey, at least it's the first time I actually died in the entire live stream.
My hidden report more scorn movement in your area, Guardians. Your eager and aggressive response is appreciated.
Alright, everybody. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go ahead and get off for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm going to keep working at this because there's a lot of potential here. And my main focus, I'm going to try to see if I can get that Witch Queen exotic glaive that naturally applies to Jolt. Because if we can keep that momentum going and get that Jolt, then I think that might help with a lot of the ability regen aspect here. But regardless, okay, if you have the Dune Marchers and you have the glaive, give it a shot, right? Come back and comment saying, hey, I used it, it worked, or hey, I used it, and just don't waste your time trying to get it. Okay, but regardless, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Peace.